teetering between absurdity and mechanical joy, is a wonderful entry to all things bullet heaven. Ground Zero Hero describes itself as blending bullet hell combat, roguelite progression, and survival mechanics into one addictive loop. It's hard to disagree that the game presents a compelling mixture of those elements, except for one sticking point. Ground Zero Hero is firmly in the bullet heaven genre, not bullet hell. Made by Brisbane-based solo developer Rowan Edmondson, Ground Zero Hero manages to transform a seemingly bleak environment, the aftermath of a nuclear apocalypse, into an experience that's colourful, engaging, easy to pick up and put down, and rewarding of persistence. The premise hinges on gradually mutating your way to success as you brute force your way through hordes of mutated creatures. The charmingly absurd mutations range from laying explosive eggs as you run, to shooting porcupine spines from your back, and turning your arm into a tentacle to slap away enemies. All of the mutations have gradual power increases, as the player slays enemies and absorbs the radioactive fuel left behind. One of the most interesting aspects of the mutation is how they work directionally. The porcupine spikes only shoot backwards, and the tentacle arm only extends forwards, forcing the player to consider their positioning, which way they're facing, and how they layer different mutations for maximum killing potential. The game has more than 80 upgrades across multiple progression paths, more than 60 unique enemies and evolving threats, and deep replayability. Across the 5 biomes that gradually increase in difficulty, meta progression between runs, a huge variety of mutation combinations, and the ability to find bunkers to save and pause the run, Ground Zero Hero is incredibly well suited to being easily picked up for a short gaming session and replayability. The game is also well suited to players new to the bullet heaven genre. Ground Zero Hero isn't as punishing as other titles, and is approachable for newcomers. To further create a sense of randomness, the player's bonkers meter can be increased both through in-run upgrades and meta progressions. Without spoiling too much, the bonkers meter transforms a mutation for a period of time into a weapon of raw destruction. The silliest and most delightful twist on the powers definitely came in the form of a man in a chicken suit. With an initial 1 in 100 bonkers chance, the game doesn't take too long to introduce the player to this extra edge in battle, and quickly incentivizes upgrading its likelihood of occurring. The art style and animations in Ground Zero Hero lend themselves especially well to the silliness and absurdity the premise sets the game up for. The game's colour palette is vibrant, and bonkers animations add a touch of spectacle. The music is energetic and peppy, perfectly matching the frenetic gameplay. The animations, colour palette, and soundtrack combine in a way that maintains the adrenaline and chaos throughout runs. The survival mechanics are a mixed bag. The game features a day-night cycle where players can choose to fight hordes of tougher enemies after dusk. The difficulty spike keeps the experience dynamic and can very quickly put the player on the back foot, or lead to huge rewards. But nighttime is optional if the player can find a bunker to sleep in until morning. The other survival mechanic is a hunger meter requiring collecting candy to fill. Unlike the day-night cycle, this mechanic felt largely inconsequential. Eating candy to maintain hunger fits the game's character well, but the mechanic itself could be easily ignored. Often, passive candy consumption was good enough due to the rate at which it dropped. Lastly, the game's boss fights felt uninspiring and did not change significantly across each biome. After requiring the player to kill 9,999 mutated creatures to reach the finals, more variety of bosses would have felt more rewarding. Ground Zero Hero is a delightfully absurd experience, albeit with a few flaws, and is worth considering for both fans of the bullet heaven genre and players wanting to try something new.